and welcome back to another Killer or Filler. And now with our very dear friend, Nukleall. What's up, man? How are you doing?
I'm good. Hello, Tron. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
Very nice and pleased to be here.
Oh, man. Yeah, me too, man. We really needed to do this for a while, but I mean, oh, I'm glad.
Life changed.
Yeah, man, I'm glad we lined it up for now. Yeah, like it's been a long overdue. How have you been, man? What's been happening? What's going on?
Everything is, I was passing this pandemic period like everyone, so it was not so easy. Everything changed. Uh, Recently, I had some little bad news with my health. I don't know if you see some of my posts. But yeah, we spoke also about it. It was 1 month ago.
Yeah.
So I'm taking life a bit more easy at the moment. Uh, Everything was caused by stress. So my first tip for your people is don't stress, enjoy life and take it easy because it can be sometimes weird if you follow.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, I discovered that basically my health situation it's something genetic, so it's coming from my family. So I was not so lucky to avoid this problem, and it touched also me. But after a month now, I'm living again my life, seeing my friends, going out, everything is going back to normal, let me say. I'm here in studio, the best place in my world. So
Yeah, no, it's really good that that's only been 1 month and now you're like back on track, which is it's very lucky, also that like after, it it's one of those things that it can be life changing, and obviously it's a big experience for anyone, even if it's like a quick recovery, but it's really good that it was just something more mild in terms of your day to day life. I mean, you're obviously going to have some
yeah,
major changes happening, yeah, in terms of how you manage stress, yeah, but it's good, no?
yeah, absolutely. And look, it was a big slap in my face. This I have to tell you, but absolutely, I'm positive because for what happened, it could be worse. And the result are that my heart actually didn't suffer so much. So I lost 1% or 2% maximum of my, the power, say the how it works.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with that. Uh, Doctor are positive. I'm positive. I have good friends and good family which is supporting. So yeah, let me say all is fine.
Yeah, man, that's really good.
And also I actually before that I was making lots of projects. So this is the thing which keep me positive because I have many tracks which are going out soon, singles, EP, some tracks in compilation, some tracks in projects or EP or album from my friends, partner, artist friends, and plus I made a couple of library, two in particular which are going out soon. One this Friday, so I think one this can be one of our topic because my pigments library is going out this Friday, and it took me a while to do it, but yeah, I decided to release after a year or something like that. I mean, it took me a while to finalize it, not to make it, but to finalize it because I wanted to make properly something At the moment, it comes different, but it's a psytrance pack, so it's you can recognize the style of psytrance. I was trying different because I was trying to do not much FM leads,
Yeah.
but more trying to go in another direction. This is the only different part of my life.
Well, I
But
mean,
yeah, it's a pure psytrance pack, let's say.
sorry about that. Yeah, no, it's well, to make Psytrance packs, I guess. I mean, I've tried to do some libraries and stuff. I've done one for, well, a couple for Future Phonics, but it was more sample based. And like to make patches for synthesizers, it's like I think it's because for me, basically, when I'm making a patch, I make it quite easy, very simple, and like the less is more kind of thing. Yeah, but for to make it for commercial use, for like everybody to enjoy it, it kind of has to be tweakable, but to a certain degree, but it has to be usable for everyone and has to be like, like it has to,
Yes.
this is the very, very difficult part of making packs, and making presets is like, to make it like 100% usable. It's like, oh, okay, you make a long note and like maybe it's not gonna sound the best with all the presets, but you make a short note and maybe it's not gonna sound the best, but it's gonna sound, it's gonna do what you want. Because sometimes it's like, oh, okay, I got a riser, like I don't know, like I have some risers, for example, that like if you make little notes, then it makes a completely different thing, and it's really cool thing. But
Yes.
it just takes time, to go through all these things and to make them very usable. And that's one thing that Alex story kind of taught me. Alex and Vincent Virtual Light is like, dude, you have to make them like so they're usable, so like the macros are used, so like you're actually like you can tweak it, but don't destroy it.
Yeah, was the best part for me because I was doing everything with automation, while I make tracks.
Yeah.
And now I made everything with macros, so that I'm enjoying it also. And in the beginning, I did so many presets that now look, my second preset pack can be easier to be done and finished, let me say, because I have lots more. And what took me a bit is it was because I did also a track with that preset pack, so I can show people what you can do. It's just an example or how I will use the track. I mean, how I will use the preset pack. So it took me a while to make the full concept. Now I can follow up very easily and, releasing even a second and a third one, let me say, pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Because now I have the idea, I know how to do it. I try to change also. I was using pigments a lot. So, for example, this was another life change here in the studio because now I'm making my sound for my tracks differently with other synthesizer, and I'm trying to give pigments, to producer. I hope they will enjoy also maybe to make tracks or to learn from what I learned in this 10-year-old music production. This was also what drive me. It was not just the pandemic that drove me to make preset pack or the project Mindbenders. I was teaching and I'm still teaching audio here in Turin, in my city where I live, or in the studio sometimes. And of course, during the pandemic, I did online training. So I think it was another step, the presets and sample pack that I put in in my background in my daily life, let me say.
Well, the pandemic kind of pushed us all a little bit to do different stuff. Obviously, like the online tuitions, like yourself. But yeah, tell us a little bit more about the Mindbender Sounds, which is your preset. Well, your what how do you call that? Is like a resource, like audio resource library thingy. You know, like how do you call it?
Uh, okay, something that we are doing. So first of all, it's a project that is it's not just me, but I'm supported, and let me say we are working together with all the Blacklight Records artists. At the moment, we started with a few packs. Meme Theory was the first one with this Psyfloor Bank. It's a sample pack. It has kind of 1.5 gigabyte of sounds, and it's pretty useful because you can find drums, loops, leads. Also, it's what Marcello, for example, did. It make half of a track, and what he was proposing is to make a track with him. So what happened is that a few artists, realized this, and they send the track completed by them to Marcello. We are following these people, of course. So this was an interesting project. We released two more library for the Virus TI.
Oh wow.
One is by off label and one is from Stereoxide. I'm thinking one of my preset pack actually is also made by Virus, by me for Virus TI. Then there is another one by me. It's a sample bank, and this one, what I decided to do, it's just really one shot sounds. So really short sounds, like that you can use like maybe in your bank you call it grids kind. Um, so it's pretty similar the concept because it's really short sound that you can or arrange in your track quickly.
Mm.
Maybe arranging in the arrangement or using the sample any samplers. Or then I start at some point. Some was they were really short, so I started to use like wavetable, and that pack it's called drag and drop because this is the concept. You can drag and drop it in the sequencer, drag and drop it in the sampler, or drag and drop it as a wavetable in
Serum.
in your synthesizer.
Yeah.
Yeah, Serum, Pigments, or anyone, Anna for Sonic Academy, anyone is fine.
Mm.
And they work pretty good for even like wavetable, so they can be a source for new experimenting sounds or whatever. And I think I will do a second one for the next one. Now I will release two preset pack. The third one will be, I mean, the next one will be the sample pack. I mean, drag and drop volume 2, I believe. People enjoyed a lot. And also, what I'm thinking is I did that sample pack in tune. Everything is tune. It's G or G sharp. So I'm thinking that the next one maybe can be F sharp, and then making another one in another tune. So I will complete the
All the chromatic
all
scale.
tune. Yeah, all the chromatic scale exactly.
Yeah, man. Well, that is really cool.
So this is fine band. There are other few library, but they are on process. At the moment is, let me say, it's a collaboration with all the blacklight artists. But yeah, I think I will propose also to other artists to cooperate with this project. It's getting more interesting.
Mm.
People is enjoying, and I believe he's making something to push the psytrance scene even more in the end. It's not just giving our sound many artists in the beginning they were saying you are giving your soul to other people. It's not true. I was always teaching, so I was always giving my soul in the end to other people.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I like this kind of sharing my knowledge. Even look, I'm doing because I believe that even students, they want rules. So they want something from you. You have to teach them what to do because they believe in you, maybe. But in the end, they are so free sometimes that they open your mind to something else that maybe you never thought about it. So yeah, I really enjoy these students or school anyway, or the presets and sample box. I'm really enjoying like a project,
Yeah. Well,
and we are having good feedback. So yeah, that's why we are keeping on going.
yeah, man. Well, I really need to install Pigments because it's one of those synths that I never tried and everybody just talks about it. But I wanted to say I wanted to say something. I just like went away. Um, but yeah, definitely I would like to collaborate with you and make some sounds. Probably Serum or Vital would be my my instrument of choice. Um, but what about well,
Yeah,
let's
I
sorry.
tell me.
No, 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 you
No,
go.
that I started something for Vital, but yeah, still it's there. It's in the computer. I'm still, I found myself more in Pigments, and I saw that for Vital there was also not lots of stuff, but many people. It's a free synthesizer, so that's why probably many people is using.
Yeah.
It's a killer one. I'm using too. Uh, but yeah, I have the preset pack there. Uh, Still on process, but probably it will be, or the end of the year, or I don't know, maybe maybe next year.
Yeah. No, what I was well, what I was gonna say, and it's like it's something related to classes and to teaching. It's like you usually, I mean, when I teach, I also learn a lot, because the student has a view of the music, like any collaboration, being a student or being like an actual collaboration with another artist or whatever, like because you are seeing the world through their eyes and trying to explain it with your knowledge, and that in the end gives you another perspective, from music, from like sound design, from even arrangement, or just at least from, yeah, because it's this kind of music is so abstract. It's not just this kind of music, but like all music is kind of abstract. It's also logical, but it's abstract, and each person's abstraction, it's very very unique and very valid, and like sometimes they ask you something and you try to explain it in one way or another, and then you don't reach the point, and then eventually you come up with some other way, and it's like, okay, yeah, that's what I wanted, like that's what they wanted, like the student, and then it's like, oh well, fuck, I just learned something new from this. And or even relearning stuff that you forgot that you were doing, or that you were like like I've been
Yeah,
doing.
this is true.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah, it's I've been doing a lot of stuff that I was doing before that I just forgot, and yeah, it's really, I mean, it's refreshing. I think it's refreshing to see stuff through other people's perspective.
yeah, I think it's different than when you do collaboration with other artists because in the last period I was used more to do collaboration with other psytrance artists. So we knew already what we were doing. So the exchange, it's really tight. It's to small differences. but yeah, with the people which are completely free, they are learning and learning and learning, so they make another combination,
Yeah.
of all this information that they put together. So this is a funny and open-minded part of the teaching.
Yeah.
The, Look, I'm doing here not just psytrance, because in some school, couple of school, I teach, even audio, digital sampling, acoustics, sometimes boring part of the music production. But yeah, I found a nice way to teach them with example and stuff, so they learn even this, boring, because it's more calculation, mathematics, physics. So it's another part, but yeah, it's even interesting, even that one, if you find a way to transmit what you learned. So yeah.
Yeah, man. I think that's a very valid point. And also, like, like, for example, when I worked with Jonas, like, obviously he makes music, but like I was on the controls all the time because he doesn't use Cubase. So we were like, but he has such a fresh, for example, like that's very unique thing, like that's I don't know, like a DJs or people that have like that approach on music, that they can do. And like making a new genre or like different genres also kind of gives you that, it's like that. For me, like when I'm like exploring a fresh genre, um like that I'm not so used to, or I'm just like not inside the box, like with psytrance, this really like gives me that like that different perspective. And also it's like this kind of experimentation, there's this kind of like you're in that realm where you were like maybe 10 years ago, or myself like 20 years ago, when I was experimenting and just like trying to get a sound that was consistent with the style that I'm working on, and that shit takes time. I got an air Subi like the
Yes.
mix. Cool, man. Yeah, Subi is really great. I hope you get a gig in Ozora soon, Nikhil.
Ah,
So, well, maybe we could start with the first track. Is this one? We got it yesterday. Is Balboa and Apocalyptum, Alien Terms. So this is a 147 track. I haven't heard it. I I keep it fresh, so we all hear it at the same time. So yeah, let's start with that one, yeah, and we'll keep going with our conversation in a minute. So are you ready?
yes.
Is it ready and loaded over there? Ale,
Sorry.
you got the track loaded?
Yeah, I have the. You launch, or should I launch it?
Okay, let's do it in three, two, one, and oh,
What I would like to invite you
there
to
we go.
do is to sit as straight as you can, and we're going to meditate, 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 meditate. For some of you, that'll be a new experience. And for some of you, the term meditation is an alien term. It's part of the balancing we're trying to do between getting out of the marketplace and cultivating the inner quiet space. So first, just get here. Just breathe gently and sit with what you're experiencing at this moment. Experience. alien term. Directly experiencing in this moment. If your mind takes you on a train of thought in a and you notice that, just come back and experience the presence of the person next to you. Letting your mind not hold on to things, but just be. Sensations and memories and plans.
Cool. So we're back. Yeah, that was really good. I'll let you start, man. What do you think?
Very nice track. No, I love it. The track it has a really nice flow, and also the quality is good. He said that he is making like 6 tracks, like if I read well.
Yeah.
So keep it going like this.
Yeah.
I can see, it has a good balance between the bass frequencies and everything. So yeah,
Mm. Yeah, I also think it's like
and
technically it's fucking good. Yeah, sorry about. Tell me what else you want to see.
no, nothing else. I mean, in general, there is nothing to. Now I had my headphone, so when I took it out, I was trying to check if I was listening the high frequency properly. So as you can see, I was paying attention to details, not
Mm.
you know big problem. It was I was surprised by the track. So really nice work.
Yeah, man, it's technically speaking, it's one of the it's it's one of the best that we've probably received in a while. Like I mean, not in a while because every time like we get some really technically good tracks, but I mean, this track has a lot of detail on the mid range, which is like to me like it's very good and it's very clean. Like it doesn't have too much fat here or there. You know, the synths are all placed in the right place, you know. If anything, like
Yes,
of constructive criticism that I would have of it is like it feels like everything is a grid. Yeah, like everything is kind of gritty and it's not you don't ever kind of like put your hands down and like just say like okay, this is my lead, like you know, like this kind of like, you know, intensity, like the intensity keeps going all over the track on the same level, and at some point I feel like it kind of needs to, you know, like diverge a little bit from this grid feeling of like, you know, like question and answer and just get something like solid, you know, and like just go, you know, like put your foot down and say like okay, this is it, like at least for like, you know, like 16 bars or 32 bars or like also, you know, like technically is really good. I think that the edits are like amazing. The sound, like the mix is pretty good. The kick, for example, on the mix, like it's very clean. I would maybe keep a little bit more of the thump and not so much of the low end, you know, like it's dipped down around 120 hertz, you know, like yeah, about 120 hertz is like the big dip, and then from there it kind of like
yeah,
levels, and then it goes up a little bit. Uh,
yeah,
and I mean the level is fine, it's clean, but sometimes the punch, you know, the actual punch of the kick, the one that you feel here and not just like moves here and like your cheeks and your nostril, you know, like the actual knock that you feel in your chest, it's a little bit higher than that, you know, it's around 120, maybe 100, but
yeah. This stuff sometimes I don't know if it's a kind of taste of the artist because some people make rules of this,
yeah.
until which point you should push the kick or stuff.
Mm,
And sometimes I don't understand if it's a matter of taste of the artist or if there may be problem in the studio, in the acoustic of
yeah.
the studio, or where they have the speakers, so where they produce. So sometimes maybe they listen something else, so maybe they are convinced. So it depends on different factors.
Totally.
But I saw that, I saw that. In general, even when with artists that are at a higher level, it's a kind of choice.
Yeah.
I remember, for example, there are artists that push even the kick and bass. You can see that they push till 200, even
Yeah.
250. They goes, and you can see that is like a wall until there. But some, they create this dip that you were talking about.
Yeah.
Um Sometimes I don't understand if the style, the taste, or sometimes the problem in the problem or choice that you make in the room.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of like all that you're saying. Yeah, like so it's obviously a choice, if you're hearing it correctly, yeah. And like this, by no means it's an error, yeah. Like it sounds okay. It just for me, when you take too much of that frequency, it just sounds a little bit hollow, and
Yes.
you know, and like when you put in a big rig, like you really don't feel that punch on the chest, and that's what I really feel that a kick is trying to do. You know, it's like that, like. And not just that whoop 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 from the subs, but like a little bit of, you know.
Yeah.
And but it's obviously it's a choice, or it's like you say, you know, it could be. I was doing it a lot before, and it sounds very clean. It sounds very, very clean, but you might be taking a little bit too much from the actual punch of the kick, you know? And if you left a little bit more of that knock, which I've seen artists that, like, if you see the totalizer here, I'll show you. Um, if you
Hmm.
see here the totalizer, you see my mouse. I've
Yes.
seen artists that just leave the kick like, you know, like it's here it's like it's down, yeah, because it's like 20 something
Yeah.
hertz. Then it goes up up to like 40, and then on 40 it just goes like that, you know, like just completely flat, like a flat
Okay.
line down. And that's also okay, you know, like obviously like some artists like this, like you say, you know, like it keeps going until like 200 almost sometimes, and then it goes down a little bit and then up again. That's also fine. You know, everything is fine. Like it, and I think it's also from track to track. It varies. Varies. It varies. Varies. I don't know how to say that word, but it's kind of it's varied. It's like it's different from track to track. You know, like sometimes the bass line is pushing you to like to push those frequencies down. Sometimes it's just like the actual kick, like the kick pitch envelope, that it's like maybe remaining too long on those specific frequencies, that it's just like pitching down a little bit too slopey, and then you have to remove it with the equalizer, you know, like it really depends on each. So it's by no means it's an error, but I think like you should look into that so you don't remove so much power and like the actual usable frequencies from your kick drum. Apart.
Yeah, I know because I was one of these people, you know, that my kick in the beginning it was really low. You know, I
Mm,
had the knock, but I was losing a lot between in the mid low frequencies. I was cutting, and now I feel that my kick is more balanced. You know, I keep all parts in their place,
yeah.
and the low, yeah, of course, are the fundamental part, but you know, I'm trying to give also importance to other and look, I had in these 2 years, because while I was changing the speaker, I had the opportunity to you know, in the beginning I was with the BM6, the Dynaudio. Then between I now I got the Core 59, which is the three-way speakers. It's amazing speakers. But in the middle, I had the opportunity to work with Adam system,
Mm,
and you know, my kick and bass was totally different. You know, it changed a lot. It's not that I wasn't satisfied. It was really different. It was again quality, everything in phase, everything was pumping. People, you know, other artists that where I send my tracks, yeah, Al, it's fine. What's your problem?
mm,
But of course, I changed it completely, and so probably can be also the response of. Of the speaker that you have that make you change, you know, perspective or what you're doing.
yeah.
For sure, in the beginning, as I said, I was trying to, probably my mistake in the past, it was that I was trying to recreate the low end that I was listening in parties,
Yeah.
you know, try to recreate in studio. So this means that you try to push too much the low end because you know you don't have that subs here. You don't need it,
Yeah.
and so that was my mistake. I think many people, you know. do this. They try to recreate the low end that you listen in front of the speaker. And if they are, people dancing in front of the stage, even more, because, they have they punch it immediately. They get
Yeah.
this slap in the face from they
Yeah.
feel all the power, let me say.
I think so. Yeah, like I was like, or sometimes like when you change from one speaker to the other in the studio as well, like you're trying to recreate the sound of the other speaker in your new speaker, which is wrong. Like you're not gonna be able to do that. And also, it's like going back to your reference with the Adams. Is like sometimes it's actually speaker placement just a few inches makes a big difference in the response of the speakers, and the room response. It's a very big a very big thing. So yeah, I mean that could be,
Yes.
but yeah, no, like, Balboa,
Yeah.
man, like
Uh,
this is totally a good track. Like as I said, it's very clean and technically is very good. Yeah, so like don't take it the wrong way. I'm
yeah,
just
I agree.
I'm trying to
I
point
agree.
out one thing that you could maybe get a little bit more linear. Like you could get a little bit more punch from your kicks without pushing so much the real low end from him. And that's going to help overall getting more consistent mixes, I think. Okay. So yeah, man. Well, tell us a little bit more about, because you mentioned it, but tell us a little bit more about the releases that are coming out from your productions. Like, are they all in blacklight, or what's going on? Like, you having anything
Yeah,
to tell us?
at the moment, yeah, all the next are in blacklight. But yeah, I have lots, like all artists. I think we produce a lot during this these 2 years. So yeah, I'm giving also to other label. Nothing is sure. So at the moment is not nothing confirmed. But yeah, the next one that will go out, I just released my track with Stereo Oxide. It's an EP. It's called the EP. It's called DNH.
Huh?
They are two tracks that we did. We started during the first lockdown because actually I arrived in Swiss. I play in a party, and in that date they closed Italy, which was the first country after China to close the border and
Holy shit!
close everything. So I stay with Jesse a couple of months, closed the studio, doing joints,
Couple of
having good times.
couple of months. Wow.
Yeah, I stay. Look, actually, let me say it was better because the other, if I was coming back to Turin, it was coming back to the city and stay close in my apartment, basically.
Yeah.
So in Swiss, I need to say thanks to Jesse and Nicole, which they guessed me, and they gave me the opportunity to stay in Swiss. The, the good part was not just the studio. I was bringing out the dogs, going to the forest, which was like 5 minutes far from the house. That was the best part because I can tell you, I felt the difference when I came back in Turin and we had the second lockdown.
Mm.
Staying in the city was completely another story because, the city was empty, nobody on the road. And all gray people negative, at least in Swiss in the forest you can walk, could walk and make kilometers, so fresh air, totally another perspective.
Yeah, man. I
So
think.
with Jesse we did like 7-8 tracks in that 2 months.
Holy
So
shit! 7 or 8 tracks. Yeah,
yeah, we did.
he's a machine, huh?
Yeah, we did lots. It was incredible. I mean, I recover. I'm not. I recover. I did lots of stuff. I learned more stuff even from the label. So we were into exchanging information and stuff directly for 2 months, basically. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was a nice part. We did, yeah, seven. I think 7 tracks was. Anyway, this is the DNA GP. Now I will have a remix of Endeavor, Killer Bites. I have one track with off label, it's another single. One track in the GGEP. Gigi is an artist, a new artist. We he, and, he get on board of Blacklight Records 1 year ago. It's young, but he's a killer artist. I really love to work with him. It's an amazing person, not just an amazing artist. I'm very happy to have collaborated with him. And the other tracks I did with other people that joined the label recently. I mean, these 2 years, like one are the Russian spatial plants.
Nice.
So this is another track which I'm really attached. And yeah, then I have a few more, but they, as I said, they are going. No, pardon. One with M Theory, which is really killer, and this is going. You are also part of this compilation. The compilation is Ritual Spin, which is the one from Isa, our DJ from Japan.
Oh yeah.
I don't need to tell you how much I love that he is part of Blacklight. He has an amazing vibe, like all that Japanese family, which I miss a lot. Yeah, tracks will be, it will just go out, and I'm still producing a lot. Probably this stuff of experimenting with the preset pack, it make my working flow more fast now. I took really now I'm when I produce, I have two different way. Like can be a day which I'm experimenting a lot. Sometimes maybe I'm not closing a track, or I mean I'm not making anything that is the intention is not closing a track. It's more recording hardware synthesizer or presets, making new ones. So this is the intention, and there are other days which I take all these sounds that I create, and and the mission is to make a track, or starting one. But sometimes when I say I start a new track, and maybe very quickly I close it because my workflow changed, and depends on how I proceed, but. Um, I can sometimes I can be very quick. Sometimes some tracks takes a lot, like I think is normal for everyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, let me say, with this new way of producing and creating sounds, I'm getting more quick. But of course, I'm taking also this experimentation side, which is keeping me protected to not make a track like a machine. This is what I don't want to do.
Yeah.
It happened in my life, especially when I was traveling a lot, probably also to you.
Yeah.
When you travel a lot and you don't have so much time to spend in the studio, it makes you feel, okay, I need more track. Even if you are changing crowd, it's not the same crowd. So even if you play the same tracks, but it's something for you that you need something new, or probably you found something interesting in another dance floor, and you want to get it into your, in your production.
Yeah.
So
I mean, just coming back from party to party, like we were saying before the show, but like just or well, I was also talking about this with with another friend, and it's like, well, before, like I was going to a party and then come back to the studio, and I was inspired, and I would make something cool, and like I would have like great ideas, or like not, maybe not so great, but at least ideas of something new, and yeah, now I'm just going to the supermarket and back, and then trying to make a killer track, and it takes some more effort to imagine stuff and shit like that, and yeah, now for sure you want to, like, when you get back from a party or from like a travel, like you want to incorporate a little bit of what you learned, um, always, yeah, or at least when you're playing, and like you play the same tracks all over again, and like maybe like in different order, but like it's the same tracks again and again. It's like, you lose a little bit of drive, yeah, like of that energy, of like renewed energy
Yes.
that you want to give away, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, it's normal for for us,
Yeah.
but yeah, the people doesn't notice this. I mean, it's not. I think something that is a personal thing that all artists has it.
Yeah. But yeah,
Now,
well, let's go to the second track though, yeah. Like, I have you if you scroll up on the chat all the way up, like it's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
here
It's a
this SoundCloud link.
triptoroid, yeah.
Okay, yes.
Okay, cool. So yeah, let me know when you loaded it, and we can blast this. And you guys that are watching, just send us your tracks. Is now or never. Now we still have 1 hour, so if you want to send like a few, everything is good. We're still on for a while. So yalla, just are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Cool, man. So 3, 2, 1, and bam.